Today we're doing this interview where we will be talking about from burnout to breakthrough. And I'm so glad to have with me the one, the only, who's been called the face of coaching in Africa, Dr. Lanre Olusola. Business Insider Africa called him that. It's not me. So Dr. Lanre Olusola is popularly known as a catalyst, is a distinguished business leader in coaching, publishing, and keynote speaking. Is recognized for his groundbreaking contributions locally and internationally, and is the pioneer of the coaching industry in Nigeria, where he leads the OLCA Coaching Limited, West Africa's first integrative coaching academy. So very welcome to you, Dr. Lanre Olusola. We're so excited to have you here. The Catalyst, I call him TC, the Catalyst, TC for short.
Thank you very much, Omawumi. It's such an honor and a privilege to be on the platform.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Mauritius. I came here to deliver a program. Interestingly, talking about, how you transition from challenging times, to times of breakthrough. How do you transition, from a setback, and flip it, and you create your own breakthrough. So, yeah, it's really an honor and a privilege to be on your platform to be talking about this concept of setback. And, as we live in life, we're constantly going through many setbacks. I mean, Nigeria, Africa, yes, constant battles. But in the midst of it, you've got to find your own mojo and you've got to keep on. Yeah.
Right. So our topic for today is from burnout to breakthrough, how coaching can transform your PR career, considering that, PR there's public relations, is a very high level career, it's intense. People, we don't sleep, we're always doing something. Maybe your client has a crisis today, or there's something. And so many PR professionals are burnt out. And also, how can they also then leverage the power of coaching to improve their career? And that's what we want to talk about, because this is the half, we're right smack in the middle, the half of the year, in this very fast-paced and demanding world of PR. So how can our PR professionals then use coaching to navigate burnout and be able to rediscover their passion for industry? You've talked about even like the economy, the landscape, things are not, looking too rosy for everyone. How can people then use the power of coaching to transform and rediscover the love for the industry?
I think, Omawumi, the very first thing is to be able to identify what burnout is. Because quite a number of people don't know what it is. What are the symptoms? How do you acknowledge that you're burnt out? When you're unproductive, when you cannot perform at the same level that you used to perform at, when, when a car begins to cough, you've pressed the accelerator to the end, but the car is jerking, the car is not moving. When you are putting in your entire energy, effort, and you're not producing the same results, you're not performing at your optimum. When you are highly irritable, when you're suffering from chronic fatigue, you slept, but you wake up, you are yawning. By 12, you are falling asleep. You are completely fatigued. Your motivational level is low. You that used to be able to think on your feet and solve problems like this, anytime that anybody brought a challenge to you, you were the go-to. You were the one that would help them solve those problems. Then you know that, there's a problem right here. I am burning out. I am fatigued. And that is when you need to begin to make a change in your life. Sit down, identify what the issues are, right? What is the trigger for your burnout? First thing, what is the trigger for my burnout? Identify it. Second thing is prioritize self-care. And then the other things follow.
Amazing. So the question I want to ask is, are you burnt out? And what are some of the most common challenges you see PR professionals facing? I know that you work with lots of career professionals, leaders, government people, and all of these organizations. What are the most common challenges you see that they face and could be addressed through coaching? And how can coaching, provide solutions for these challenges?
All right. So, I mean, I've worked with quite a number of PR people across the world and over the years. And the very first thing that I find is what I call the God complex. They believe they can solve everybody's PR problems, everybody's image problems, everybody's identity problems, everybody's, challenge. I can solve it all. You can't. You can't. So you've got to ask yourself, who specifically am I called to at this time, in this season of my career? That's the first thing you've got to be able to do. And then, because they have the God complex, they want to take on every brief. So they take on so many clients. They haven't stratified their niche market. So are you bottom of the pyramid? Are you middle of the pyramid? Are you top of the pyramid? You cannot do it all. The strategy to help people at the bottom of the pyramid is different from the PR strategy for people at the middle and the top of the pyramid. So you've got to stratify and segment your market and niche yourself into, servicing the people that you have the expertise to serve. At that point in your career, stratify. Then set your capacity goal. A lot of PR people do not determine their boundaries and their limitations. You can't do it all. You can't be everywhere at the same time. You can't serve everybody at the same time. And the nature of PR, right, especially if you are great at PR, your clients want you. It's you that they want to talk to. You're on speed dial, especially if you are doing reputation management. You're on speed dial. So how many people can you really take their calls? How many people can you really take their calls and really solve their problems all the time? So you've got to stratify and say to yourself, this month or this quarter or this year, I can only put this number of clients on retainership. Because you see, every PR person rides on their reputation. And this is where they have a challenge. When you start to mess people up or you don't deliver, then your reputation is gone. Then they will not work for you. They will not work with you tomorrow. They will not refer you. And PR is about referrals. You do a damn good job and they will refer you. Because people, the PR is about public relations. It's about positioning. It's about lauding what is going on. It's about suppressing an image that someone wants to destroy. People see it. So this, your success is based on your excellent delivery of your service. And people read it, people see it, people hear it. So as you do excellent work, you're marketing yourself. A PR person doesn't need to put out billboard that I can help you solve your problem. When your clients have issues or you are able to position them right, everybody sees you. Everybody hears you. That's your billboard. That's your promise of value. So make sure you segment right, especially when you are starting and you're at the middle of your career, right? In Nigeria and Africa, it's first about you. If you are thinking that you are going to set up a company and you are positioning the company and you are not the arrowhead of that company, in America, say they do it this way, say they do it that, that's America. In Africa, the clients want you. So you will first position your own brand. And once they trust you and you've signed those accounts over years and they've built trust in you, then you can now start putting a team together. And then, the team manages those accounts. So it is important for you to stratify your business offering. It is important for you to, categorize your clientele. It is important for you to deliver excellent service. That's the problem, the God complex. I want to do for everybody. I want to serve everybody. And so you do not deliver excellence. If you sort this out and you prioritize, you will get the right clients. You will be able to tell people to wait, and people will wait. Why? Because you provide excellent service. And then people will refer people to you. So you don't need to market yourself or sell yourself. And you'll be able to earn great revenue, because some people, you will sign them on retainership. They don't have a problem, they don't have a need, but they want to be able to call you when they have a need. So the ability to create your products and your service offerings across board is very, very key for a lot of PR people.
My God, this is so amazing. So amazing, all that you've said. And you've even then touched on so many things. I love this answer so much. And the fact that, I mean, for us at GLG Communications, 99% of our work, okay, let me say 95, just, is truly from referrals, right? Or somebody will say, oh, I saw you on LinkedIn and, I'd like to do work with you and blah, blah, blah. We never post to say, oh, come and do PR with us. Because for me, when I even see somebody posting on and saying, oh, advertise with, come and do PR with us, I'm like, oh, dude, you're failing, and you just really hit the nail on the head. And all of these things about referrals, retainers and everything. Somebody say, I need a session with you for my coaching, for my PR business. Look at all the strategic ideas that are coming out. Wow. What are some key coaching strategies that PR professionals can employ to set meaningful goals, develop effective communication skills, and cultivate leadership qualities to thrive in their careers?
All right. The very first thing is, every business is an expression of purpose. Every business is a service to humanity. Every business is a solution to problems. And you must be able to clearly state the purpose of your business and align it to the purpose of your life. The very first thing is meaning. If you lack meaning in what you do, when you go through challenges, you will shut down. It is meaning and purpose that gives you meaning and purpose in times of challenges. So the very first thing is you must align, right? You must reconnect with your purpose and your mission. Very, very key. And you must now set goals in alignment with your purpose. Now, for you to even be in PR, you must be passionate about it, because PR is not technical. PR, I see how you have done PR with me for the last 10 years, and nobody has been able to do it. That's because nobody else can fit into your shoes, unfortunately, right? It is because you are so passionate about it. And passionate, people see passion, people feel passion. So as a PR expert, right, is there alignment between your passion and your purpose? Because if there's a misalignment, you're not communicating the right message. Now, the third thing that you want to also do, right, is you now want to ensure that you do not chew more than you can bite. Make sure that when you sign up a client, your contract is self-explicit. Your KPIs are self-explicit. A 5-year-old can read it and understand it, because PR is about activities, many activities that cannot be defined. So a lot of PR people, right, they go into activities without deliverables. So at the end of it, it's not possible for you to measure what you have delivered. So the client is now thinking, I've spent 10 million naira or maybe $10,000. What have they done for me, sir? it is before you get into the job that you state KPI 1, 2, 3, 4, that by the 31st of December 2024, I will deliver 1, 2, 3. Make sure that those deliverables are smart. They are specifically stated. They are measurable. They are achievable for you, that you are the PR expert, right? They are relevant to your client and realistic for you, and they are time bound. Because a lot of PR people go into activity without the deliverables. They will not measure you by virtue of activity. They will measure you by virtue of your deliverables. Always state your deliverables in a way that is very explicit to everybody. Now, what you do to deliver them is nobody's business, right? And don't communicate what you are doing. Communicate your deliverables. We agreed that by the 30th of each month, right, ABC will happen. By the 27th of the month, we delivered ABC and communicate each month. If you are running a quarterly retainership or annual retainership, communicate it regularly. Don't wait for the client to ask you to give update. Make sure that your actions are in line with your objectives, your KPIs, right? And you give regular updates. Now, another thing that is so key to successful PRing, if there's anything like that, is emotional intelligence. Your clients will stress you. The brief that they've given you will stress you. People that you're working with will stress you. Do you have emotional intelligence? You know, emotional intelligence speaks to empathy, speaks to self-awareness, speaks to motivation, speaks to awareness of other people, and speaks to relationship building. Now, across the entire value chain, you must build the right relationships, whether it's with people on the outside that you're working with, or people within the organization that you're working with, or the clients that you're relating with. Even with yourself, you have to know when you are going off emotionally, when you are irritated, when you are annoyed, when you are stressed, when you are overwhelmed, because all of these things would affect your deliverables. Emotional intelligence is so key. Now, innovation and creativity, oh my God, I can't overemphasize this one. A lot of people copy and paste. Every client is different. Oh, I did it with this client, so I'm going to do it with this client. It doesn't work that way because no two businesses are the same. No two people's problems are the same. Now, innovation and constantly being creative is very, very key, which means that you must develop your creativity and innovative skills. Critical reasoning is very, very important. Anticipate before the problem shows up. So if you have a retainership with a client, you have to study and be in tune with the client, their business, and the marketplace that they operate in. And you should be able to anticipate, sir, in the next 6 months, this is going to happen in your business, in your field, and in your sector. And this is how we need to position for it. This is how we need to begin to put out, a lot of things so that we position you as a thought leader. You need to give tips ahead of time for your clients. You need to be very strategic in your thinking. So critical reasoning is very, very key. It is very important, and it requires you, having a growth mindset, because today you're working with someone in telecoms. Tomorrow you're working with someone in oil and gas. Tomorrow you're working with someone in the finance industry. Next, you're working with a client in entertainment, which means that you must be vast in every industry. Or you must have your fingers in everything, which means that if you are building an organization, right, it is therefore very, very important for you to stratify and say, okay, the services that we provide, right, will be for clients in the oil and gas industry, in the entertainment industry. Once you are clear about that, then your scope of study, right, your scope of research, your your ability to study, research, and understand those industries is not too widespread. You zero in such that you are able to provide apt services. Now, beyond that, right, is to also ensure that you under promise and over deliver. Now, a lot of people over promise in PR and they under deliver because, they're very good in selling. They're very good in their mouth sweet. Well, under promise and over deliver, and make sure, right, that at the end of each brief, you document and you send the journey to your client and you thank them, close it formally. This is where we started from. This is what you commissioned us to do. This is what we delivered month in, month out. This is the value that we provided. We want to thank you very, very much for this brief, and end it with asking for a referral. End that very nice letter with asking, please do not forget to refer us when the opportunity presents itself. As a PR expert, once you follow those tips, you are done.
Amazing, amazing. So in October 2019, before we had any idea of COVID, you said that 2020 will be a disruptive year and that it was going to be very volatile. It was, there will be a lot of new things, and that leaders needed to learn about how to lead in a disruptive world, right? The theme for this year's World PR Day is the future of PR in a changing world. What would you say, seeing as, all of these predictions you've made, what would you say is the future of PR? And what do you see for PR?
So you've now turned me into a prophet, eh?
Exactly. So say.
All right, yes. It's important that we understand the world that we're living in now. We live in a very volatile, unpredictable, complex, and ambiguous and disruptive world. But to transition, there's a new world order that is coming. I call it the BANI. Brittle, anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible. Go find out what that really means, because it's a thing. It's a thing that is happening right now. We're transitioning from VUCA to BANI. Everybody that is providing service, everybody that is working with anyone needs to get what BANI is. Yeah, brittle, anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible. We are transitioning. The world is transitioning. Now, it is even getting worse. During COVID, I says that we haven't seen the worst of COVID. The post effect of COVID is the worst. It's not the earthquake itself that is the worst. It's the aftershock that is the worst. So we're now experiencing the aftershock of COVID. It is time for you to get with it. It's time for you to get right with it. Because if you don't, you are going to be overwhelmed. Oh, yes, you're going to be struggling and you're not going to be prepared. You've got to prepare yourself. But most importantly, never create any strategy beyond 18 months and 24 months. And break down your strategy to every 3 months. And sit down with your strategy every 3 months and change it. Oh, yeah, update and you change it. Likewise with every client. Make sure that you don't give them any strategy beyond 3 months. You can look at a long-term vision, but the strategy has to change every 3 months, because we live in such a dynamic world. And if you are not dynamic, creative, and innovative, if you are not flexible in everything that you do, forget about it. And that will be my last word for you.
That's a good last word. BANI. A lot to learn. You've dropped a lot of value bombs in this chat, and we're taking it away. I know that you also are in Mauritius and doing a lot of events and activities. So I'm gonna let you go. If not, if you leave me, I want to sit here for a long time and ask so many questions.
Thank you very much. It's such an honor to be on the platform with you. You do have a
Thank you
wonderful.
so much. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
TC. Thank you. Bye.